The pandemic has put many families in financial difficulties, especially for refugees whose lives are not easy initially. When the movement control order is in place, their lives have become even worse. The UNHCR in Malaysia and Tzu Chi have worked together since 2016 to launch the cash-based intervention program. In the face of the pandemic, they continue to provide financial aid to refugees, giving them hope.
Sukarelawan dari Tzu Chi, I boleh tanya you berapa soalan tak? Boleh ya?
Affected by the pandemic, the lives of refugees are miserable. The UNHCR and Tzu Chi work together to provide refugees with living allowances. Under the movement control order, Tzu Chi volunteers can only get information through phone interviews one by one according to the name list.
With
the movement control order in place, we cannot conduct home visitations, but phone interview instead. So we need a phone alert what they say over the phone.
In fact, when they sent back their picture, which showed their children holding a plate of rice, that was just a plate of white rice. They told me that was their last meal.
After evaluated by phone interview with anti-epidemic measures, volunteers went to every household to distribute financial aid in person.
Ahmed 也是索马利的难民，他也是一家7口。
Amin is a Somali refugee. His family of 7, including his wife, can only rely on his work to drive students to school. Before the pandemic outbreak, they could actually do some rough work. They could help transfer vegetables and fishes in Selayang Pasar. But after the outbreak, what they could do was very little.
这些工作，那么在疫情发生之后，他们能做的工作其实是很少了。
The pandemic has put the refugees, who are unable to go out to do odd jobs as usual, into a difficult situation. The financial aid just comes in the right time.
I still need to settle the rent, which is still outstanding.
My husband is sick and my daughter, she's so young, so I now have money also to pay the renter and pay the food and pay the school.
这一次的这个补助对她来说其实意义重大，因为
The financial aid actually means a lot to her because she didn't take her husband to the hospital, whether it's under fare or other materials expenses. The financial aid is a timely assistance.
付出的补助上都是一个及时雨啊。
The UNHCR and Tzu Chi volunteers continue to care and try their best to help the refugees through the difficulties.